Yo, Stock Bros. Good evening. Hope everybody's having an amazing night. Today we had a question of the day. Basically wondering what does all of these stats means. Can be referred as metrics some of the time. But yeah, what does each one of these mean? So I open here on Safari, a little bit zoomed in so everybody can see better. So we have open, high, low, volume, PE. What does that mean? Yield, average volume, 52 low, 52 high, market cap. So let's start from the beginning. Open, that is the price point. Let me just rewind a little bit. I don't like doing technical analysis on Wealthsimple just because of its limitations and you can't see the full picture a lot of the time. So like always, I'm just opening here a Thinkorswim, which there's available for both the Canadian and the American side, which is great news. So yeah, mic difficulties here. Okay. Open, that is the price point in which the stock opened at. So 208.96. If we were to go back on Thinkorswim, that's exactly the price point in which it opened, or just about there. Yeah. And so yeah, as soon as the market opens, it doesn't count pre-market, it doesn't count post-market. It's as soon as the market is live for everyone. Here in Vancouver, it's between 6:30 in the morning and 1 p.m. So open, that's the price in which it opened. The bell rang, that's it. Highs and lows. So the high would be at the highest point that it reached during the day, so intraday, and lowest would be lowest price during the day as well. Does not count post-market. So if we were to look here, just as it opened, it had 209 in just a little bit, but quickly got rejected. It continued the day in a downtrend, and then just before it closed, it was right here on 204.20. Post-market, it hit a little bit lower at 204, but again, that does not count for our metrics. So yeah, that covers open, high, and low. Now we have volume, and what volume means is the amount of shares that were exchanged during the day. So on this day, for example, my yellow marks here, each one of them represents how many shares were traded on each minute. So if you were to count every single minute, so for example, as soon as the market opened, there was about 277,830 shares that were exchanged at the moment. They can both mean buy or sell, but just the amount of shares that were exchanged. And then you count every single minute until the end of the day, and then that's where you come to just about the market close. And right here we can see about 423,000 shares were exchanged during that time. So it means the amount of shares traded intraday. Next case, let's just go to market cap. So market cap is how much the share is worth right now. So how you calculate this is you take the amount of shares that exist that the company has issued, and you times it by the price point in which it is at the moment. So in this case, you would take however many shares exist, times it by the price, and then that's when you reach $115 billion. That's what Boeing is. So if we were to go on Thinkorswim, if I remember correctly, we go under phase scores and then stock highlights. That's how you're able to find all these metrics. What type of industry, 52 weeks high, all that kind of stuff. However many shares. So this company, for example, Boeing, has 564 million shares outside or that exist. So you take that, times it by the price point, and that's how you reach market cap, which includes everything together. On this case, $115 billion worth. All right, so next point is 52-week high and 52-week low. So these are the prices in the last 52 weeks, the highest point that it has reached and the lowest point that it has reached. So if we were to go on Thinkorswim, find 1 year, 1 day chart, highest point that it was 349, and the lowest point $1.89, which should match us perfectly here with Wealth Simple. And average volume, that just means the average volume of every single day given a period. And I believe it's 52 weeks. I have to double check on this. But yeah, basically the however many shares were exchanged each day, just on an average. This is a common stock, and so it is quite traded. But yeah, average volume. So P/E. So P/E is price to earnings ratio, and I pulled up here, and I like using Investopedia. It's a great resource for me, and I think it should be for a lot of people too. They're very detailed. They're phenomenal, actually. And so price per earnings ratio. I wasn't 100% sure of, or to be honest, I've never really used this to calculate my entries and exits, but it is price to earnings ratio. And how you get to this is you divide the share prices by the earnings per share, and you reach this number. Now, not a lot of companies that I can remember will have this available, and right now on Wealthsimple isn't showing, but I believe that number is out there. I'll have to do a little bit more double checking, but so that's the equation for this calculation right there. Shares divided by the EPS, which is earnings per share. Again, I don't use this a lot, but there's a lot of people that do, and it can be quite useful. And then lastly here, again, Wealthsimple has lots of great informations out there. They have forums, they have definitions, which are great. And so yield, which was our last item in question here, what does yield at 1.01 mean? And so again, I don't use yield to calculate my investments, but it is the income that you gain from an investment, not counting your capital gains. So for example, if you buy a share at $100 and the price point right now is at $150 and you were to sell it, the price difference, the $50, that is your capital gains. So this income does not count that. I believe it counts dividends, and actually I think primarily it is dividends. And so what they're saying here is a typical stock on the S&P 500 is about 2 to 4% growth, and I believe this is per year. So that will pretty much conclude, other than the exchange. So the exchange, that means where it's being traded at. So if you were to buy this stock, on this particular example is on the New York Exchange Center, and that's simple as that. So us Canadians, we kind of have to, especially if we're using Wealthsimple or not, we have to be aware of this. If it's in US dollars, it will most likely be in an American exchange center, and so there is fees associated with that in regards to buying and selling American money, because you do have to translate from Canadian to American to be able to buy that stock, and vice versa to sell, which is something that they're working on as of right now. So the best place for us to buy and sell is with the Toronto Exchange Center, because it's all in Canadian dollars. So there's no conversion fees from American or Canadian to Americans, and vice versa. So anyway, I hope that you guys found this helpful, and yeah, make sure you guys leave that thumbs up if you appreciated this. So anyway, have a good night, guys. See you.